The message arrived on Earth at 3:42 UTC, transmitted through quantum channels that humanity had only discovered 3 years prior. It came from Outpost Delta, the farthest human settlement in the Arcturus system, 17 light-years from Earth. This is Commander Wilson at Outpost Delta. We are under attack by an unknown force. Civilian casualties mounting. Defense systems failing. We need immediate assistance. Please. The transmission cut off abruptly. In the United Nations Space Command headquarters beneath Geneva, Admiral Thomas leaned forward in his chair, his weathered face illuminated by holographic displays showing the status of humanity's interstellar assets. He turned to his executive officer. How long would conventional response take? 23 days at maximum burn, sir, replied Commander Reed, her voice tight with the knowledge that by then, Outpost Delta would likely be nothing but debris. The Admiral nodded once. Deploy the Thunderbolt protocol throughout human space. The alert went out. Not a general call to arms. Something far more selective. In research labs on Mars, Dr. James looked up from his quantum displacement experiments. In a corporate headquarters in New Singapore, Director Miller interrupted a board meeting without explanation. On a remote island in the Pacific, Professor Allen abandoned her meditation retreat. They were part of Project Thunderbolt, humanity's secret response team for existential threats. 153 individuals whose combined expertise encompassed every field of advanced science and military strategy that humanity had developed. 12 hours later, they convened in a virtual space, their avatars seated around a circular table that existed nowhere and everywhere. The threat at Outpost Delta is confirmed to be the same entities that destroyed our probes in the Scifi system last year, Dr. James explained, manipulating the holographic data with practiced ease. They appear to be silicon-based life forms with technology that rivals or exceeds our own in several domains. Can we negotiate? Asked Professor Allen, always the diplomat. Director Miller shook his head. They've shown no interest in communication. Their attack pattern suggests they view us as a resource to be harvested, not as sentient equals. Admiral Thomas spoke last. Conventional forces will arrive too late. We need a solution that can be deployed immediately across 17 light-years. The silence that followed wasn't one of despair, but of intense calculation. These people had been selected not just for their intelligence, but for their ability to solve the impossible under pressure. Dr. James was the first to speak. My team has been developing a quantum tunneling mechanism that could, theoretically, create a temporary wormhole. We've only tested it at microscopic scales, but the mathematics suggest it could be scaled up. My company has prototype autonomous combat drones that could fit through such an aperture, Director Miller added. They're designed to operate in swarms using distributed intelligence. Professor Allen nodded slowly. And I've been working on a targeting algorithm based on xenobiology principles that could help identify critical vulnerabilities in non-carbon life forms. Within hours, labs across the solar system repurposed their resources. Production facilities that had been manufacturing consumer goods began assembling specialized components. Military units provided logistical support without fully understanding what they were supporting. 3 days after the distress call, humanity's response was ready. In the Nevada desert, a massive ring of superconducting material hummed with energy drawn directly from Earth's power grid. The drain was so substantial that cities across North America implemented rolling blackouts to compensate. Tunneling sequence initiating, Dr. James announced from his control station. Sweat beaded on his forehead despite the climate-controlled environment. Establishing quantum entanglement with Outpost Delta's beacon. The air within the ring shimmered, twisted, and then tore open. Through the breach, they could see flashes of light, weapons fire in the darkness of space around the distant outpost. Drones swarmed deploying, Director Miller confirmed as thousands of sleek metallic objects, each no larger than a human hand, streamed through the portal. What followed was humanity at its most terrifying and magnificent. Not a battle of brute force, but of adaptability and ingenuity. The drones, equipped with Professor Allen's targeting algorithms, identified the silicon-based attackers' neural clusters and power systems. They didn't attempt to match the aliens' firepower, but instead exploited vulnerabilities that only human insight could have recognized. The aliens, encountering a defense that evolved faster than they could counter, hesitated. That hesitation was all the advantage humanity needed. Admiral Thomas watched the tactical displays, his expression grim but satisfied. "Send the message," he ordered. Through the quantum tunnel, a final wave of drones carried not weapons, but data, a comprehensive record of human history, culture, and scientific understanding, along with a simple statement: "We come in peace, but we will defend our own. If you cease hostilities, we offer dialogue. If you continue, we will respond with our full capacity." The attack on Outpost Delta ended 12 hours later. The alien vessels withdrew to a respectful distance and transmitted their own message, the first attempt at communication. 3 weeks later, when the conventional relief fleet arrived at Outpost Delta, they found not devastation, but the beginnings of contact between species. The outpost had suffered losses, but it stood as a testament to humanity's greatest strength, not technological superiority, but the ability to unite and innovate when faced with crisis. As Admiral Thomas later remarked to the United Nations Security Council, "When crisis struck, we didn't just reach out with weapons. We deployed mankind's full force, our intelligence, our creativity, and ultimately, our humanity, and that proved more powerful than any fleet we could have sent." In the years that followed, humanity expanded its presence among the stars not as conquerors or victims, but as survivors who had earned their place in the cosmos through ingenuity and collective will. The crisis at Outpost Delta became known as the moment when humanity truly came of age as a spacefaring civilization. And throughout the galaxy, a message spread among other intelligent species: tread carefully around the humans. When threatened, they don't just fight. They solve problems in ways you cannot imagine.